So you Leos have the Six of Cups, the World card, and then you have the Eight of Cups. Six of Cups, obviously, people that you knew, whether it was romantically or it could have been friendship-wise. Really romantically, though, is what I'm really picking up. Um, or something that you love, like a career, something like that, an old boss or co-worker, something like that. Um, it's come back, you know. Like I said, could be a romantic interest. It's come back, reached out. The World card and the Eight of Cups. I mean, things are going so well for you, Leos. Y'all don't want to come back. The World card is about apotheosis. The world is in your hands, and you did it without having to sell out. You know, you Leos got what you Leos are getting what you want, and you feel good. You feel great. You feel amazing because you didn't have to sell your soul. You know what I mean? You didn't have to take the wild deal, you know, the devil's deal and all of that. You know, you got what you wanted just by having a plan, knowing what you want, and remember what it is I was talking about over the past weeks about how you Leos have just been staying quiet and staying focused and doing your thing. And look at the amazing results that you Leos have actually gotten. And I want to say it's over the course of what, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month. Some of you Leos got promotions. Some of you Leos have let go of people on the job that would have held y'all back. More money is coming in from what it is that you do. A lot of you Leos are healthier because you don't have to deal with like a parasite. Because sometimes too, people, let me get into that. I'll get into it. So the things that the Eight of Cups, walking away, you're walking away from this person. So it's kind of like, you know, they came back, but then you Leos are like, immediately, no. Why would you want them to come back? There is no place for them in the life that you have created since they've been gone, right? Like, and so that drains you too. Like, that legitimately drains you too. The fact that you can literally be in a place where you can be in a relationship with somebody and literally, you know, they can make you feel drained. And how they can make you feel drained in the first place is by literally trying to make you unhappy, right? Take your happiness from you and all of that, and tell you that you need to be like this or you need to be like that. And then the next thing you Leos know, you start falling in line with what they want you to be because they're constantly taking your happiness away from you. They're taking, more so accurately, they're taking your joy away from you, your own internal self-image. That's what it's really about, right? When you see these parasitic relationships, it's not about your external. The external will reflect, or the outside will reflect your internal. They have to get at your internal, your own self-image, your own internal talk, that internal talk that you Leos have with yourself, or you're supposed to be having with yourself. You know, you're great. You know, you're confident. Don't get overly confident. Stay focused on what you have to do. You're doing a good job. You're finding your way. You're learning, right? You're doing much better compared to that internal talk. They have to interrupt that. They have to get in that. They have to get in between that, right? So what do? They'll do certain goofy stuff, stupid things that look stupid, and in the long run, it ends up being stupid because they end up getting caught up with with that themselves. The game doesn't, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the game doesn't love anybody, including the people who think that they're doing a good job playing it. There is no exception. The game loves no one. And so the situation with that is, this is why we got to stop playing games. So the Eight of Wands and the Three of Cups here represents how you Leos, again, like, you have just gotten busier, accomplished. You're going to stay in your bag, right? In the proverbial bag. Stay focused on what you Leos are doing. You're staying focused. And the Three of Cups right here represents you love this. You know, you're finding great enjoyment out of this. This is not something where you Leos are like, you're going to stop for a little while. This is, you love this because it takes a minute for you to get going, right? For some people specifically, but because what it takes a minute to get going is the mind and heart. They have to work in congruence, right? The skills have to be greased, they have to be oiled, right? They have to be finely tuned. And then the thing is that when you Leos started to actually finely tune it, you may not necessarily have anybody. You may be by yourself right now, right? Or you may have someone that doesn't give you a whole lot of like antics, and they're a good match for you. They're a lot better than compared to, person that you may have known 6 months ago, a year ago, right? You found this person. If you're with someone and the two of y'all work quite well, they have your best interest in mind. Okay? They work too. And I'm not just talking about like having a job. I mean, like, they are concentrating on not doing goofy stuff and bringing goofy stuff to you just as much as you don't bring goofy stuff to them. So the Three of Cups here represents how, once again, like, you're putting in the work and you Leos are getting the good results back. And so you have the King of Wands, the Scorpio energy, and the Queen of Cups here. Right. Like, you Leos only have smoke. You only have like smoke or beef for people who come to you with it. Other than that, you're not going out per se looking for it, right? You have beef with people who look to control you, look to, you know what I'm saying, look to, be perceived as friends, but not actually. They look to have you. They look to make you a familiar. I talk about that deeply in my book that's coming out. Go ahead and check out my book. I'm not even going to tell you the name of it just yet, but the book is practically writing itself, right? I'm on page 38, right? I put notes in it, or I put like lines in the book where a person can like jot down their notes, because I go in heavily on what that means. I'm not going to say too much because I want y'all to get it. It'll probably come out soft cover, ebook, hardcover, but maybe. But the point that I'm trying to make here is the Queen of Cups, but I got to work a situation out though first. The Scorpio energy and the Queen of Cups represents how, the King of Wands also represents not being in that mode, not being in that mode where you Leos are catty, you know what I'm saying? Pun intended, right? Catty. It's more so a sense of you Leos you don't feel like people are trying to stop you from getting to where you want to get to. No one can stop you from getting to where you want to get to. They have to get in here, and they have to get in here. They have to intersect, or they have to intercept more accurately, right? To cut across, to interrupt that internal talk that you're having with yourself, that mode. And if you do it right, if you're doing it correctly, they're not going to be able to, or it's going to be harder for them to do that for you Leos. And so that's why the Queen of Cups appears. It represents you Leos actually being at peace with yourself. You can get into beef with certain people in the world, but again, you have internal peace. So the beef that you get into externally, you can apologize, if you're wrong, if you're right. You'll defend yourself if you need to. The Four of Wands and the Three of Pentacles for you Leos represent how you're in a place also where too, right? Like it's your house, right? The house that you built, the het heru, the house that you built is in you. It's internally in you. You, you know, once again, like you, it's you at this point, right? Um, it's you. It's your own power. It's your own internal joy. And you Leos don't have anybody up in your face on a personal level, romantically getting at y'all. That's why they're coming back. That's why you got the Six of Cups, because they're coming back. They're not in your life, right? You have exes coming back, trying to reach out, trying to say what's going on. It could be people from the past, right? Maybe it's not necessarily people that you may have necessarily dated all the time, but it could be people from the past. More than likely, it is a romantic situation or someone that you may have liked romantically. But regardless of the who or the what, regardless of whether you're single or if you're with someone, this new person, even if you're not single, they're not up in your face. They're not trying to make you small, right? It's this wrestling match where you Leos feel like you have to wrestle your own internal joy or your joy away from this person, because this person just tries to come up with ways to take that away from you, right? And a lot of relationships are like that nowadays, to be honest with you. You have a lot of, honestly speaking, you have a lot of like light magicians, light workers using dark magic and dark magic tactics, but they use the light work thing as a means of trying to lure people in, right? As opposed to if a person, you know, comes off as secretive, right, off the rip, they tell you they don't want to tell you certain things, they don't want to say certain things, they tell you, you know what I'm saying, or try to figure out clever ways to not necessarily give certain answers. A lot of people will be uncomfortable with that. And the point that I'm trying to make here is you Leos understand that. You Leos understand that, once again, like there's a lot of charlatans. That's why you Leos feel so good now, because from personal experience, there's a lot of charlatans. There's a lot of individuals who you have met who you can't get in this mode because y'all are in the zone. Even if y'all are in a relationship, y'all are still in the zone. If you're connected with somebody right now, they feel quite loved. So it's not like you're neglecting yourself, neglecting them. The job is the only thing that matters to you. Making money is no. What I'm saying here is that regardless of whether you're by yourself, out for a walk by yourself, on the job, with significant other, whatever, you're just dialed in wherever it is that you Leos are. And then things that the Four of Wands, like I said, in the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Wands is building the Heteru, the unseen house, the invisible house, the house within you, Leos, right? Your own internal peace. And then you have the Three of Pentacles, which is the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul. Four things, really. But, emotions, right? That's five things. So, those things are working, and look at how they're aligned. Those things are in unison with one another. And there's not a whole lot, including this Six of Cups here, this person that is coming back, right, to get your attention is going to work because you don't want anything from them. The Eight of Cups represents you walking away. You really don't want anything from them. And why should you want anything from them? So you have the Page of Swords, Five of Swords, and then you have the World card, the Star card, and then you also have the Nine of Swords to clarify the Six of Cups. So that's my point, right? My point of it is the Page of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the World card is about, again, like for you, Leos, you just see someone who's really extremely jealous. you know, and that why would you want them around you, right? Like they're trying to compete with you, you know. The world card, they've got their own thing going on, right? But they feel like but again, the last dragon reference, right? Like they're show nothing, like you're Bruce, you're Leroy Green, right? And they're show enough where they feel like they have to go around telling everybody of how great things are, specifically you. And you Leos are living your life, but you're not broadcasting the amazing things. Would people even care? You know what I'm saying? Like, you reach at a point where it's a certain level of humility where it's like real people don't even have to like tell people all of this stuff, because would they really even care for real, for real? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants a chicken in their own pot. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody wants to eat good. So it's like, or their version of what eating good is. So it's like, what would be the value of you Leos really telling these people that you might be making more money or you might be a millionaire or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it gets to a point where it's like people will look at you stupid. People will look at you like you stupid and you'll be like, why are you telling me this? Right? And then some people will be like, okay, cool, so that they can use it. You know what I mean? But these people feeling like they need to show you Leos and tell you Leos, maybe they might be a little bit flashy. They're just covered in designer or they're covered in tags and like something tacky about it, right? Then you have the Star card and the Nine of Swords. They haven't learned anything, right? And this is another reason why Star card is Aquarius. This is another reason why you and them didn't work out. And this is another reason why you and them wouldn't work out, because you Leos are different from them. You're different from them. Where you branched off and grown, they haven't really branched off and grown. The only thing that is, I ain't gonna say the only thing, but one of the things that has grown for them is their ego. Their ego has become stronger, bigger, inflated, you know, more important to them. And for you Leos, it's more so about, you don't have to run around telling everybody about every single detail, you know, like, I don't think you personally should, right? Like, even if you did, would people, I'm asking a serious question, would people really care to hear every single detail, right? Sometimes they might get bored, sometimes so a lot of you Leos get that, right? And you just out with someone special, by yourself, single, not single, the job, running your own business, getting money, doing this, doing that. You're good wherever you are. You don't need to be out here broadcasting it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? They're broadcasting this thing to everybody. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel 200K. We're approaching 29,000. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever it is that I drop my videos. If you Leos want to come through and get a personal reading, the link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link. Also, too, I have a video game that's out if you want to go ahead and check it out, for all the new people that has arrived, for all the people who would like to support. There's many ways that you can really support. You can support by watching the video, watching the channel, subscribe, right? And watch, become active, you know, actually watch. You can download the video game that I have that I will post a link to. You can get clothes, come through and get a tarot reading, you know. But the link to my video game, which is in the iOS store, $1, $1, right? You get the whole video game, no ads in the middle of it. That's it. Peace. Have a good one.